So yeah, I want to get into a little bit more about how I think the universe works. I don't know what all this fanciness is right now, like in the background. I'm just like picking something that looks mystical. Yeah. So yeah, I was talking about life. I was talking about kind of organic material, and I was talking about viruses, stuff like that. So organic material has a capacity to carry memories. I think that everything is consciousness. I think that everything is conscious substance, and everything can experience sensation. Now, I want to say pain is interesting. I mean, it's interesting in a. I mean, pleasure is interesting too. It is. I mean, I guess it's has. Man, yeah, they are kind of like they do both play their roles. You strive for pleasure and you avoid pain. It just seems pain is so. It's just you'll give up on pleasure. You'll give up on pleasure, right? But you won't give up on avoiding pain. I mean, you should kill yourself. Some people do. That's what some people I think do. To avoid pain, they give up on pleasure, but to avoid pain, they just kill themselves. That's all. Those are just those. I think those are still sensations. There's nothing holy about them. The sensation of pain, the taste of pain itself, the flavor of pain itself, could. The thing is, man. Here's the other thing. It's got that tinge. It's pain. Pain tastes like pain. I'm thinking about a toothache, or a bone. Different types of pain for sure. And I'm talking about physical. I mean, there's a spectrum of what pain is. I mean, why is it though? Why is it those sensations? And you flinch, and that's the reaction, and you cringe. That's the reaction, and I don't know. I mean, I've heard about people walking into the dentist and putting themselves into a mental state and saying, "I don't need the shot. I don't need the Novocaine. I don't or whatever they use. I don't need the X and Y to do the procedure. I'll just put myself into a mental state, and I can do the procedure." And geez, what's what I might say, because I think everything has to have meaning, and it's like the meaning of these different types of pain, the flavor of these pains. I mean, I guess of course, like they map to your body, right? But it's just like the colors themselves. You can think about it like colors themselves. Why is red red? Why is yellow yellow? Why is green green? Why is blue blue? And is there more? And if there's more, are they all on a linear spectrum, or is there two-dimensional colors? Three-dimensional, How does that work? I don't know. I don't know if this is probably not a spectrum. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. Hue, if I don't know. It's crazy. But the thing is, we should be able to increase our, we know how we are constructed, how our eyes are constructed. And do we know how exactly they're constructed? No. But can we probably jack something in there to make it receive some type of extra light? Yes. Now the thing is, how is our brain going to receive that information? How is it going to take that information? I think it's going to try to differentiate against it. Yeah, I think so. And the brain is adaptive; it can adapt against that. So, what kind of color would it create for itself? If it could, get into that hardware, if it could change that hardware, what's that hardware like? I mean, is this the limit of it? It's just weird. Like it seems like there's some configurations to the universe, and it seems like there are some things that are just kind of have this infinitely dynamic property, like science itself. It's always diving deeper and deeper into science. It's always a changing puzzle. It's always a changing matrix-like puzzle, and The questions are always different. The solutions are always require scaling and everything, more power, and finer precision and more delicacy, to be more gentle and delicate. But yeah, I was getting into consciousness and the organic. So yeah, I was saying that in the beginning that everything is consciousness, right? And everything is sensation. I don't know what that would be, you know. And the thing is, think about sensation, all sorts of sensation, you know, that you can have. And it's like that can be, you know, visual, you know, anything. So, is there a unit to all that? Is there a unified system to all that? Because sound, I mean, think about this. It's so hard to draw the lines around things in nature. So go to Google, you know, everything, you know, there's this gray area, there's this fuzz, there's this gradient, you know, between things, the gray space, the ambiguity between things. You know, so if you were to Google a picture of the sun, and you pick any picture, most pictures, whatever, and you were to, you know, ask someone draw a line around the sun, I mean, they would not know where to start, or like, you know, like how do you, how would you, yeah, they might guess something, but then you could, you know, you could always ask them, how do you justify where your line stands, where your line's been drawn? So, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I think, yeah, everything is conscious. I mean, I'm kind of, I fucked that up. I hate to sound like a fucking trashy ass piece of shit druggie, but, that, you know, this consciousness thing is kind of like it's continuous spectrum. And I mean, I think, yeah, pain and pleasure is just sensation. And it still goes to this Darwinian grinder, you know, this Darwinian grinder. I don't know what that is, but, you know, oh yeah, what I was bringing up was that how different vision is from hearing, you know? That is so distinct to us. Everything that we try to measure in the world, you know, is so ambiguous. Everything we communicate is so ambiguous. You know, so many things, but the sensation itself, in consciousness itself, is something we can't deny. Right? And then next to that is the sensation. The sensations themselves have clear-cut distinctions. Like, these are very, very different things. Right? So how does the universe work? Because we're also looking for a unified theory for everything. Well, I don't know. But yeah, with everything being consciousness, I mean, what you got life, you got organic life, which is basically just a memory system at that point, you know. And then what's the point of that? I mean, yeah, you basically have, okay, consciousness, and then you have this replicating this you have conscious substance that has the potential to create replicating structures. Okay. You know, you have conscious material that has the potential to create replicating structures that can experience itself. Okay. You're always looking for meaning, right? And there's none. And it's like, you know, okay, what's the origin? Like, how does this stuff even work? And you'll die someday. I feel like when you die, you'll find out. And it's, you know, when you die, you'll be in this, you know, whatever your sensation is, it'll be the answer. Maybe you'll never have the perfect answer, but it'll be the answer itself to what all this is. Kind of like the answer. I think that when we die, that's the answer. Like, life itself, structure itself is it's tiring. It's a process, and you can enjoy life. Since being alive, you have the capacity to have more sensation, right? That's what I was talking about. You have the capacity to have more sensation. So you can organize things so that you are being just doped up on, all these positive sensations. You can do that, and you can do that in a way that's unfair against the rest of the universe, rest of the living life, right? And I think yes, and it's the structure. It's somehow the structure that. No, I can't say that. Now, the structure just takes the sensation and it does something with it. I can't say that it amplifies it. Because the chemical reaction, whatever happens, the circuit, the electricity, the connection, the contact, whatever it is, that can happen in some other high energy location, right? So that can be a very powerful sensation with solar kill substance, at the center of the sun, or in a nuclear reactor. There can be a high sensation associated with that, to that conscious material. And then you have the whole breakdown thing, because it's like, okay, well, all this material is conscious, but I'm one person, and somehow all this material consciousness has managed to partition everything else, partition everything. And the thing is, I don't think that our brains, we have a subconscious, obviously, and that's probably just kind of like a little personality of its own, kind of like doing its thing, and it perceives things to a certain limit, It probably perceives things more topologically than 3D, or whatever, or has that access at least. And maybe it can be a backseat viewer. And maybe, I don't know, maybe there are characters, maybe there are characters that have their own personalities that are communicating in the world within us. I don't know, that's kind of elaborate. I think there are definitely characters that we have collectively that act, in ways. I'm done.